Welcome to Hero Villains. Who do you think would win when Hela and Faora Ul face off? The goddess of death versus the Kryptonian Warrior. Hela is the goddess of death of Asgard, the daughter of Odin, an entity nurtured by war and death. Her power is directly bound to Asgard, and the deeper the realm sinks into conflict, the stronger Hela becomes. She possesses physical strength far beyond that of other Asgardians, near instant regeneration, and the ability to manipulate weapons formed from dark energy. The blades, spears, and swords created by Hela are capable of piercing even gods, turning the battlefield into a dominion of death. Faor-ul is an elite warrior of Krypton, trained from a young age to become a perfect instrument of war. Under a yellow sun, Fiora possesses extraordinary strength, speed, and reflexes, enough to overwhelm many Earth superheroes in close combat. Her martial arts skills are extremely precise, ruthless, and unforgiving, reflecting the cold military mindset of the Kryptonian people. Before we dive deeper into the analysis, please press the subscribe button and remember to turn on notifications by clicking the bell icon. Thank you very much. Hela is not merely a powerful being. She appears as an ancient law that transcends all familiar limits. Before Thor, Hela toys effortlessly, treating the power of the Odinson as mere amusement, and coldly declaring that neither space nor time holds any meaning for her. To her, the rules governing the universe are nothing more than fragile chains that have long since been shattered. Hela once stated that if she were to truly clash with Mephisto, the results would be an apocalypse on a universal scale. A catastrophe that would make Ragnarok seem like a minor tremor. She existed long before Asgard entered its age of prosperity. Hela is older than all living Asgardians, even though they themselves possess lifespans stretching thousands of years. Hela's power is illustrated by her single-handed annihilation of the entire Valkyrie army. Defeating even one Valkyrie is a task considered nearly impossible, something not even Loki had ever accomplished. Yet Hela turned it into a merciless slaughter. Even when Thor unleashed his full latent power, he was completely outmatched. Before Hela, the Odinson had no chance at all, leaving only the harsh truth that she is the embodiment of absolute power and inevitable death. After thousands of years imprisoned in darkness and forced to endure countless brutal trials, Hela emerged with her power nearly intact, even more terrifying than before. With a single casual motion, she crushed Mjolnir as if it were nothing more than fragile glass. The hammer had withstood the Sokovia explosion at close range, a disaster powerful enough to incapacitate Thor and crack even vibranium. Yet it was utterly helpless against Hela's hand. Even Odin could not destroy her permanently. Faced with an uncontrollable threat, he was forced to use dark magic to seal his own daughter away. Hela was banished to a reality harsher than any battlefield. Yet, that very place forged her into an entity even more resilient than the Allfather himself. In the end, Hela outlasted Odin, standing as proof of an unbreakable will. Hela was the foundation of the conquest that allowed Odin to unify the 9 realms, and at the same time, the seed that led to the fall of Asgard. From the moment she was born, the Norns prophesied that Hela would bring calamity to the kingdom. Odin accepted that fate in his own way. When Hela came of age, she was defined as the goddess of death, holding dominion over the souls of those who died in battle, while Odin retained the right to judge warriors who fell in glory and entered Valhalla. None of this seems accidental, but rather part of plans embedded within a conspiracy spanning entire ages, orchestrated by the ones who lurk in the shadows. These entities have quietly maintained the Ragnarok cycle as a self-preservation mechanism, safeguarding their existence while reinforcing power far beyond that of any familiar gods. Within that vortex, Hela holds a crucial role. She craves souls, especially noble ones that carry the will and dignity of great warriors. To Hela, the value of a soul lies not in its quantity, but in the weight of destiny bound to it. Yet, even the goddess of death is not entirely without feeling, and sacrifice for others becomes her rare weakness. Because of this, in the past, Hela broke her own rules and released souls such as Thor and several others when they reached a boundary where even death itself hesitated. Hela is the strongest among the Jotun, surpassing the majority of her kin. That power reaches its peak when she dons her cloak and hood, items that are not merely symbolic but also serve to stabilize her. When she loses them, Hela is forced to return to her true form, with the left half of her body bearing the appearance of a withered corpse, a state in which her power is significantly reduced and most of her abilities are sealed away. Even so, Hela's endurance remains something that even the gods must be wary of. She is a true immortal, possessing a terrifying regenerative ability. All wounds heal rapidly, and even when her body is disintegrated, Hela can still regenerate from scattered cellular fragments. Before such resilience, even Thor can scarcely compare, and death to Hela is merely a temporary state, never an end. Hela holds absolute dominion over life and death, a power that makes even immortals tremble. With a single touch, she can grant eternal immortality or strip it away without hesitation, forcing beings thought to never age to decay under the passage of time. Hela does not know fatigue. She moves with astonishing speed. Hela's true strength lies in magic. Her mystical power surpasses even that of Odin, allowing her soul to separate from her body without any limitation. Even in spiritual form, Hela can still chant spells and manipulate energy. She unleashes forces capable of destroying an Olympian god, teleports instantly across dimensions, travels through and warps the flow of time. Hela delivers strikes imbued with the weight of death itself, powerful enough to wound even Thor. Each time she acts, space itself seems to fall silent, as if the universe is holding its breath before the authority of the goddess of death. Hela does not rule through brute strength alone, but also through sorcery. With a single incantation, she can twist an opponent's face, transforming them into a grotesque form. Hela's illusion manipulation rivals that of Karnilla and Loki, enough to leave enemies lost between reality and falsehood, unable to distinguish what is real from what is not. Yet all of this is still only the surface. Hela's core power lies in her absolute dominion over death. When Asgardians or similar races under her authority fall, they do not fade away like humans. Their bodies remain, while their souls are separated by the touch of the death goddess and guided to hell, where they begin a new form of existence, both living and dead, forever under her rule. Heroes who fall in glory retain their physical forms and are escorted by Hela and the Valkyries to Valhalla, then resurrect each time they fall, repeating this cycle endlessly. Most terrifying of all, Hela's lethal touch is not limited to guiding souls. It can instantly kill most Asgardians. This is even more horrifying when one recalls that, according to Victor Von Doom, even if an Asgardian's heart is torn from their chest, their body can still regenerate within minutes. Yet, before Hela, that regenerative ability becomes meaningless, as if death itself must bow before her power. I truly hope you will subscribe to the channel. It would help us greatly, and you are the most wonderful person. Thank you very much. Now, let us talk about Faor-ul. Faora-ul is one of the most notorious war criminals of Krypton, a warrior forged for war from the moment she was born. She held the position of Deputy Commander of the Sword of Ra and served as the absolutely loyal right hand of General Zod, the one who launched the invasion of Earth in 2013. Genetically engineered to become an elite warrior within the Kryptonian Warrior Guild, Fiora left no room for hesitation or personal emotion. Every action she took revolved around a single purpose: to carry out Zod's commands. On Earth, Fiora played a key role in crushing human resistance forces, while also fighting alongside Zod in decisive battles. In another location, it was she who helped Zod kill Supergirl, demonstrating her cold, ruthless, and highly efficient nature. After joining the Sword of Ra, the extremist organization founded by Zod with the ambition of seizing the Growth Codex to rebuild Krypton, Fiora continued down a path of endless war. When the plan failed, Fiora and the remaining survivors were sentenced by the Council of Five to exile in the Phantom Zone and transported aboard the prison ship Black Zero. However, fate did not end there. A mysterious signal from Earth led Zod to return. He broadcast a global message demanding the surrender of Kara Zor-El. When Black Zero landed at Edwards Air Force Base and Kara did not appear, Zod declared war on all of humanity. In that moment, Fiora heard a voice of defiance echoing from the sky. She turned and saw Supergirl appear in mid-air. After After Supergirl withdrew, Faora and Zod's forces unleashed their fury upon human soldiers, turning the battlefield into a merciless slaughter. Faora possesses superhuman strength of nearly immeasurable scale. Each of her punches generates violent shockwaves powerful enough to shatter concrete walls, bend thick metal doors, and sweep away multiple soldiers in an instant. To Faora, the battlefield is not a place of balanced combat, but a space where she imposes absolute power. A single seemingly casual shove is enough to send both Flashes flying. Her superior physicality also allows Fiora to perform extraordinary long leaps, turning the surrounding environment into a springboard for relentless chained attacks. Under direct sunlight, her body regenerates at a terrifying speed, with wounds rapidly closing as if they never existed. However, that regenerative ability still has its limits. If she suffers a fatal blow sufficient to kill her instantly, Faora cannot escape death, much like the fate Supergirl has faced many times across different timelines. In her early encounters with Superman, Faora appeared clearly superior. She entered battle with absolute confidence, even offering encouragement to Superman when he was still young and naive about the brutal reality of Kryptonian power. At that time, Superman had never experienced being shaken by truly equal attacks, and it was precisely this lack of experience that made Faora's advantage overwhelming. Even after Faora fully adapted to Earth's environment, she still could not match Superman's raw strength when he unleashed his full potential. This was later clearly proven through General Zod. Although Zod surpassed Faora in both physical prowess and tactical intellect, he was still defeated by Superman. The reason did not lie solely in the length of time spent absorbing yellow sunlight. Superman had been raised under the radiation of a G-type main sequence star for far longer than either Zod or Fiora. More importantly, on a genetic level, he possessed a superior structure, as if he were born to reach heights that his kind could only touch for brief moments. Even so, Faora remained an exceptionally terrifying Kryptonian warrior. She was powerful, durable, and agile on par with Superman, capable of unleashing extreme bursts of speed for short periods. Faora once dragged and hurled Superman as if he were an inanimate weight, while also reacting in time to his high-speed attacks. Her combat experience far exceeded that of Clark, who had only just stepped into a world of evenly matched confrontations. Kryptonian physiology renders them nearly godlike beneath the light of a yellow star, and Faora was no exception. She possessed super breath powerful enough to freeze or blast away opponents, supervision that allowed her to observe fine details across vast distances, telescopic sight far beyond any human limitation, the ability to perceive through heat in many situations, and heightened hearing capable of capturing the slightest vibrations. All of this made Faora the embodiment of Kryptonian warfare, a seasoned warrior who fell only to one destined to surpass every limit. Faora carried within her a will of steel and a cold determination no different from General Zod. Her lust for battle and brutal instincts made her an opponent that any hero had to treat with caution. Faora was always the one to charge first into combat, never hesitating in the face of danger. She was willing to confront both Flashes at once, viewing their speed as merely a challenge to overcome rather than a true threat. Even when a Flash used Kryptonian metal to inflict injury, leaving a deep scar etched into Faora's thigh, shattering her face shield, and ultimately delivering the fatal thrust through her chest that ended the life of the Kryptonian warrior, even the strongest will can fall before the combination of speed, intellect, and recklessness. Faora fell in the stance of a warrior, leaving behind a legend of loyalty and unyielding brutality that will never fade. Hela, the goddess of death, was once exiled from Asgard, wandering among the stars with the ambition of expanding her dark empire. On desolate worlds, she summoned the souls of the dead, forging them into an army that served her eternal power. Meanwhile, Faor-ul, a Kryptonian warrior absolutely loyal to General Zod, was carrying out a mission to eliminate threats beyond familiar space in order to protect her species. Fate caused the two conquerors to meet on a barren planet. The confrontation began with brief taunts. Hela coldly mocked Faora as a mortal draped in false divinity, while Faora responded with contempt for a goddess who hid behind magic. Without hesitation, Faora struck first. She surged forward at supersonic speed, circling Hela and unleashing a storm of relentless punches. The ground cracked, space trembled, and Hela was blasted backward with severe wounds. In that rare moment, the goddess of death was genuinely astonished by the raw power of a Kryptonian warrior. But Asgardian immortality quickly asserted itself. Hela rose from the rubble, her wounds sealing as she let out a chilling laugh. She swept her arm, summoning scythes and jagged spikes that erupted from the ground like the fangs of hell, forcing Fiora to dodge without pause. Fiora immediately countered from a distance, firing laser beams from her eyes and exhaling freezing breath, tearing apart part of Hela's body. Yet it only seemed to excite her further. Hela regenerated her form and called forth deadly spirits, forming a spectral encirclement around Fiora. The battle turned into a whirlwind of destruction. Fiora flew across the battlefield, shredding spirits with fists and speed, while Hela raised storms of black blades swirling like a living nightmare. Despite her physical dominance, Fiora gradually felt exhaustion as her opponent continued to resurrect, as if death itself could never reach her. In a final attempt to end the battle, Fiora poured out all her power and charged straight at Hela at near light speed. That very moment sealed her fate. Hela expanded her death magic, drawing in Fiora's soul and weakening the solar energy that sustained the Kryptonian body. Fiora resisted wildly, desperately trying to crush Hela's throat, but the goddess of death only smiled. The blade of the Necrosword pierced straight through Fiora's heart, extinguishing her remaining power. Unlike Hela, Fiora could not return from death. Hela stood in the silent battlefield, looking down at the motionless body of the Kryptonian warrior, and spoke with cold mockery. Death is destiny. Even for those who call themselves superhuman, Faor-ul fell, and her soul may become part of Hela's eternal army, proof that before the power of death, pure strength must ultimately bow, and Hela is the final victor. I hope you enjoyed this battle. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. Follow me if you like. That is today's video. Thank you very much.